Freedom isn't handed out, it's fought for. And that's exactly what's happening as some of America's largest labor unions rally behind the No Kings protests. A nationwide movement standing against what many see as the authoritarian tendencies of the Trump administration. But here's where it gets controversial. While critics label these protests as unpatriotic, organizers argue they're the very essence of American democracy. A bold rejection of unchecked power. And this is the part most people miss. It's not just about politics. It's about the everyday struggles of working Americans, from healthcare to immigration, that are fueling this fire. Take James Phipps, for example. At 75, this lifelong activist isn't letting a recent colon cancer surgery keep him from joining the No Kings demonstration in Chicago. I have a burning desire to be a part of the protest, he says, because that's all I've done all my life. Born in Marks, Mississippi, Phipps has been fighting for justice since he was 13, when he helped integrate his high school and organized with the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. By 15, he was working with the Mississippi Freedom Labor Union, MFLU, advocating for sharecroppers who toiled in brutal conditions for pennies a day. They were paid 30 cents an hour, working in the scorching sun for 10 hours, Phipps recalls. It was back-breaking work, literally. They had no medical care. That's what sticks with me even now. Today, Phipps works in administrative support in Cook County and is a member of SEIU Local 73. He's grateful for the health insurance that covered his surgery, but he's acutely aware of the millions at risk of losing coverage due to the ongoing federal government shutdown. Democrats are demanding Republicans address Medicaid cuts under Trump and extend health insurance subsidies set to expire, which could leave an estimated 3.1 million Americans uninsured. It's all about greed, Phipps says, pointing to politicians prioritizing their financial well-being over the lives of ordinary people. He's equally alarmed by the aggressive Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, raids in Chicago, which he compares to the discriminatory laws he grew up with in Mississippi. There's no reason to tear families apart, he says. My Mexican neighbors lived next door for 41 years. They were family. We supported each other through everything. Phipps draws a stark parallel between the treatment of immigrants under Trump and the Jim Crow era. The struggle Mexican Americans and people of color face today is the same one we've been fighting since 1619, he says. We didn't want kings then, and we don't want kings now. The No Kings protests, organized by unions like the Service Employees International Union, SEIU, and the American Federation of Teachers, are planned across all 50 states. Randy Weingarten, president of the American Federation of Teachers, puts it bluntly. You need a voice to have freedom. Freedom doesn't come without a voice. But here's the controversial part. While Republicans dismiss these protests as hate America rallies, Weingarten argues they're a patriotic response to abuses of power and soaring costs of living under Trump's administration. I love America, she says, and I won't let anyone question my patriotism because I want the promise of America to be real for everyone. Jamie Contreras, executive vice president of SEIU 32BJ, echoes this sentiment. The real threat to this country isn't peaceful protesters. It's politicians shutting down our government to protect billionaires and corporate greed. So, here's the question. Are these protests a necessary check on power? Or are they, as some claim, unpatriotic? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments. Because in a democracy, the conversation and the fight for freedom never stops.